when you were working on your lip gloss, you was away from the camera.
Yeah.
So pretty much
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
ready
was
for my messy
showing,
ass bed.
what I was showing them was that like I got one of these pouches. I think they normally sell these for like $10. I know I bought one for $10 before, but somebody actually gave me these, but they sell them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is liquor though. As you know, it's alcohol in it. I haven't tasted it, so I don't know how it is, but I'm gonna try it. But people charge $10 for this. So if they charge $10 for that and people is buying it, if I'm charging $8 for this, people should buy it, right? Because it's a detox tea. Like people are so weird to
Exactly.
me.
You want to
People
get
they are
drunk, but you don't want to lose weight.
exactly like they don't want to spend the money on that, but they spending that much money on an alcoholic beverage. Like that's the weirdest part about it all to me. But anywho, this is what I'm drinking tonight. Shout out to my friend D Snacks. He's on here. He also like sells like edible stuff. So you actually hit him up. But he actually gave me this. I believe his wife makes these, but he gave me
Mm-hmm.
this. Yeah. So that's what we're drinking tonight. So if I drink it and like I said, I don't know how strong it is. So if anything, just blame it on the liquor, okay? Okay,
Well,
okay.
I am drinking oak leaf Chardonnay. Oak leaf. I said oak leaf.
Mm,
Oh, Chardonnay
nice.
with
Is it sweet?
plantain
That's all
wine.
I be wanting to know. Is if it wasn't sweet, I think I could rock with it.
I haven't had it in some years. Let me try it.
I am not trying to be on my butt today. I ain't got time. But the thing is, I had this drink for a minute, and I'm not really a heavy drinker, so it was just sitting there, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I could sip that on peaches and cream. I might get a little drunk depending on how strong it is, because you know they supposedly make these really strong, and that's why they charge so much. But I don't know.
Okay, so Kanye fucking West.
Yes.
Kanye. I know a hood bitch that named her son Kanye. I know she regret that shit now. She has a son named Kanye and a daughter named Aaliyah.
Mm. But let me tell you
So
how I feel. No, you go ahead because you got to educate me because honestly, I only saw stuff. So I'm not fully educated behind it. So you educate me, give me your opinion, and then I'm going to base my opinion based off of that. But I already have something to say about how I feel about the situation. But go ahead.
what is it that you don't know? Because did you see the clips of him at the rally?
I didn't see anything, but what I do know, the thing is that I didn't really focus on what I don't know because what I do know about the man is that it's known that the man literally has a mental disorder. Like it's not no fabrication. He's really mentally sick. And I think that because he's mentally sick, that people should be more cautious and understanding. Like y'all sitting here dragging this man through the dirt. Is like if he's really that crazy, what if he kills himself for the stuff that he's feeling? Like he's expressing himself in not a good way because Black Twitter is going to drag him through the fucking mud. But that's how I felt about the overall. But now you can tell me all the details.
It's like a double-edged sword because you don't want to blame him for the bullshit that he's doing, but the bullshit that he's doing is so detrimental to the community. Like, and here's the thing, you should not put these celebrities up on a pedestal because if they say or do anything that you don't like, you're ready to cancel them. So he was like, where the fuck, when did he start this rally? Where did he put the information out for this rally? Because he was in North Charleston, South Carolina. That's right down the fucking road from us. He had a rally for his presidential race. And he was at the rally and he was just talking a bunch of psychobabble. I don't want to make light of his bipolar, but that's what the fuck it sounded like. And he was just talking a bunch of random stuff and a lot of detrimental stuff to him and his family. So I don't think I can go in order. He was talking about how um damn, is it 8:50 already? Never mind. He was talking about how he when Kim found out that she was pregnant, he wanted her to have an abortion, or she wanted to have an abortion, and she was taking the pills, and he stopped her. He was like, no, we're going to keep this child. So that's number one. Oh, you just tagged me on the post. That's number one. And then he goes, I think he started talking about pro-life, because that was his segue into the whole pro-life thing, discussion. And a white woman interrupts him, comes on stage and interrupts him. He lets her talk. And he told the whole crowd, be quiet and let her talk. And he let her say whatever the fuck she wanted to say. And then he gives this bitch a hug. So later on, after he starts crying and talking about his dad, how his dad wanted him to be aborted, and how his mom saved his life, and how, oh my God, how Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves, she just took them to some more white people to work. So after that, it was a black woman, young black woman. Yeah, she looked a little young, but so she was the only one that you saw on that stage that had a mask on. I don't know if anybody in the audience had a mask on, but she was the only one that you saw that had a mask on. So she said something about his gun reform policy, like he had any type of gun reform policy. But she said something, and he just starts berating her in front of the whole fucking crowd. Like, what happened to you letting people talk and giving them hugs and shit? Because you act a whole different way towards white folks, but then you treat your brethren and your sisters like shit. You'll hug the white woman, but when it comes to black women, he is mad disrespectful. He has a long history of this. Just downing. I think he was the one that had the audition where he only wanted light-skinned women, light-skinned black women, or racially ambiguous women. He has a line in his song, the Mercy song, plus my bitch make your bitch look like Precious. First of all, why do you have to go after black women to glorify your whore of a wife? Number one. So he has a track record of going after black women. Oh God, and the shit he said about Amber Rose after he broke up with her and got with Kim Kardashian, talking about somehow he had to take 30 showers after he broke up with her because she was so nasty or some shit like that. I mean, granted, Amber Rose doesn't identify herself as black, but she's black as she can be, well, genetically, even though she tries not so hard not to look it. But yeah, back to the rally. So he berated this young black woman in front of the crowd. And then he said something like, well, what the fuck what are you talking about when we can't even see your face, and blah, 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 blah. So she takes her mask down. Like, nigga, you can see my face, but I'm saying what the fuck I gotta say. But then he walks off the stage like he didn't want to address her. Like, you'll talk all this big shit with anybody else, but when it comes to your people, you don't want to say, you ain't got shit to say, especially the black woman. And I remember this interview where he was this was after the whole, the Taylor Swift situation, where he jumped on stage with Taylor Swift. So I remember this interview. I think he might have been doing it with Jimmy Kimmel or somebody. I think it was either Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. And they were talking about the whole Taylor Swift situation, and the guy said, well, do you think your mother would have approved of what you did? And he just got silent. So, of course, I think that's the root of where all of this started, because when a person doesn't process grief, they internalize it in their brain, and then it turns into something else. I don't know if that's the actual
Well, he
start.
asked him about his dead mom, though.
Yeah, like, do you think
I
your
would
mom?
be quiet too. Like, why would you ask me about my dead mama?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I understand why he asked, and understand he got quiet. I understand both sides, but what he did was disrespectful and wrong. but he wasn't acting like this before his mother passed away. So, he did ask him, well, do you think your mom would have approved? Because,
But
when your
but
mom was
knowing he
doing
has a
it,
mental issue though, won't you think maybe the reason why he is acting like that is because his mom is dead?
we didn't know that then. We didn't know that then. He did start going off the rail afterwards. But I think that was a valid question. Like, you're acting in such an erratic way, especially after your mom passed away. We know you're grieving, but do you really think that she would have approved of what you've done? Do you really think that she would have agreed with what you do or what you say? And I want him to ask himself that same thing now. I have to ask myself that every time I walk out of the house, or every time I have a conversation with my nephew when he pisses me off. I have to think about, will my parents approve of what I do and what I say? I know we're all not perfect, but every day I walk and I want to please God and I want to please the people who aren't here anymore, especially my parents. They're the people who raised me. So I don't want them looking down on me like, you know what I mean? So
But honestly,
yeah.
I think that's why things are always so complicated in this earth, in this world, in this life, because people are always judging people so hard. Like, I got the type of mama that's like, growing up, she was kind of like strict, but now that we're all adults, like me and my mom, we go to parties together. Like, when I was a kid, never in a million years did I think I would be going to a party with my mom. Like, she's the type of person who, she doesn't judge us for what we want to do. She doesn't tell us, don't do this, don't do that. She just accepts us for what, whatever we are, whatever we're doing. It's like people set way too much expectation. Like, when my mom died, I don't think I pray my mom lives a long time, and I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, because luckily both of my parents are still here. But when they're gone, I'm not gonna be like, do I think that they're proud of me? I'm not gonna think like that, because at the end of the day, whether I was working at McDonald's or whether I worked at a job paying $100,000 or whether I was a millionaire but running my own business, my mom is gonna accept me and she's gonna be proud of me. That's the type of mom that I have. But I know some people's parents are strict. They don't want you doing this. They don't want you smoking. They don't want you drinking. And if you do, they disown you. And I don't like stuff like that, because you gotta let people be free and let them be themselves. That's just my own personal viewpoint. But I do know that some people, depending on how you were raised, especially when you're raised in like Christianity, they want to make sure you're doing everything of God like, and that you're, like even like in other cultures that's like a lot more strict in the US, like they want you to be a doctor, they want you to be a lawyer. Like, fuck what you want to do, you're gonna be a doctor. And then if
Mm-hmm,
that's what your parents want and you're living to, make sure that your parents is happy, you're probably gonna go above and beyond, you know? But I just
mm-hmm,
feel like honestly, because I done like been, when it comes down to like mental illness, I know somebody that's really, really, really close to me, and I've seen episodes like when they are them regular selves, you know them, but when they have these episodes, you don't know who the fuck this person is, and the shit is it's so like undescribable. To where when I see Kanye doing that, I'm like, yo, if he really has a mental condition, because I've actually seen it, I'm like, they need to understand that he really needs to isolate himself. Like, he's like, when they get like that, you got to take away their phones. He was typing crazy on Twitter from what I heard. Literally only a crazy person does that, because even me, when I'm going through stuff, I'm not just regularly posting nothing. Unless I'm going crazy, then you see me doing all this out of the blue stuff. Because it's not like he's been doing that all along. It's just he's having this episode, you know?
and we go to the word crazy, but I think crazy is dismissive, but it's so easy to say crazy. Hey Siri, what's the definition of crazy?
This is an informal term. As an adjective, it means mentally deranged, especially as manifested in a wild or aggressive way.
Oh,
Do you want to hear the
Yeah,
next?
that's the word we need. It's crazy.
okay.
I used the proper word.
Yeah, but I just didn't want it. Like, yeah, he was aggressive, and he is aggressive in some. He has been aggressive in a lot of ways. So yeah, damn. I guess that does define him.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad that we talked about this,
What?
because when you start talking about him being aggressive, I've seen people saying how he needs to be kept away from his kids.
Yeah, and
I want to talk about that. The person that I know that has this mental issue, the reason why he probably has that mental issue is because his baby mom threatens to take the kids away. His baby mom, he has to fight with her to see his kid. She be asking for money, he give her the money, and he still don't get to see his kid. So that's part of the reason why he's kind of like mentally fucked up. So a lot of people don't even understand that he's probably nobody knows what he's going through within his relationship, and then y'all
yeah,
threatening to take this man kids away. Like, yes, he has a mental disorder, and maybe he might need some supervision with his kids, but don't just take his kids away. Don't just say his kids can't see him. His kids have to be able to, even if they video call him, even if they, even if it's not in person, but his kids needs that communication with him. And if their father has that issue, they have to be able to learn how to deal with him when he's having these episodes.
and if he does, if he is, well, we know he is, but since that is the case, the people around him need to learn how to deal with somebody with his condition. They need to
Right.
have some
Because
sort of
it's real.
step.
Like, if I didn't know nobody, I wouldn't understand it. But the fact that I actually know somebody personally that has the mental disorder, it's like the person, they would never in a million years do the shit that they be doing when they have an episode. It's somebody else. It's something else. That shit is so crazy. Like, I don't even understand it, but I know somebody personally. And then the thing is that when y'all say aggressive, it's like with the person that I know, he's never aggressive. He just says crazy shit and he does like off shit. So it's like if Kanye is like if he's not a threat to himself or his children, I don't or anyone else. Now if he was physically doing shit like beating people up or chasing people around with a knife, like something like that, where he's actually being abusive or a danger to himself or others, then yeah. But at the end of the day, he's just talking crazy. Let him get through his episode. That's how I see it. But I feel like he needs to get the proper help that he needs because I
And
don't think this shit is no joke.
Dave Chappelle and Dame Dash, they came in and they saw him in Wyoming because he bought a house in Wyoming, and that was just where he decided to just be himself. So they came just to check on him, and black men need to do that more because a lot
Yes. Oh
black
my
men
God.
period,
Woo.
black men period don't like to acknowledge the fact that they need counseling.
Yes.
Counseling, if anything, but extensive therapy, don't you dare bring that up to them. But just going to check on your brother just to see how
I
they're doing.
swear.
They may not
That's
be
what.
doctors, but it kind of bothered me when Dame Dash said, "Well, he looks all right to me." That's because he's fine now. We don't know if somebody crushed up, his bipolar medicine and put it in his food. So, and that's probably what needs to be
Now,
done
because when
because
they
they
have
look
these
better
episodes,
together. Yeah, yeah, he looked fine to them, but they're not doctors. That's the thing. He still needs to be
but
evaluated.
you know what else? It's hard because doctors don't know you and your personality. Like I have an aunt that's like crazy, hilariously funny, and like people with that you would meet her and you're like, oh, that bitch crazy. Like that's how she is. But at the end of the day, it's like if you know her, she's been like that like her whole life. Like she don't care. She's hilarious though. Like she should have been a comedian. Like, but she's that type of person where she just start cracking jokes out of or for anybody anywhere. She don't care. She's cracking a joke on somebody. But say for example, if that's her regular personality, and then all of a sudden she's not cracking jokes anymore. If a doctor that doesn't know her cannot be able to, won't be able to say like, okay, yeah, she's not her normal self because they don't even know her normal self. So that's why when you're dealing with those things, it's kind of hard. Yes, a doctor could help, but you also need those people that's close to them that could be like, you know what? Because even when like the person that I know when they're having an episode, we can tell. Like we can tell there's little things that that leads up to it. And then when they normalize, we could be like, oh yeah, he's back to his regular self now. So
Hmm.
that's why it takes like doctors are needed, but you also need that support system for people who actually know you personally, so that this way they can tell you. And that's the thing with the guy that I know, he has guy friends that come through, that literally come through, and at the like sometimes when people are talking off, Like some people would try to like, lead them on, but like we'll be like, nah, that shit didn't happen. Like he'll start saying some shit that did not happen. And it's like you have to let them know, you gotta bring them back to reality and be like, look, listen, motherfucker, the shit that you saying don't make no sense. You gotta talk to them just like that until they snap out of it. Like it's
Yeah, but
crazy.
is that really how you get to that particular person? Because it might be trigger words, it could be a memory, it could be them seeing something off in a distance, and then they just get back into it and just snap back into whatever that state is. So if you don't know what it is, you don't know how to get them out. And
That's the thing. You will a lot of the times, based off of what it seems, is like when they're stressed, but then you won't know that they're stressed until they start, until they start losing it. Basically, that's when you know that they're
yeah,
stressed because
until they
they
actually
keep.
start showing it. But what if, it's anxiety? What if it's something in their
But
mind
listen,
that they're going through over and over and over again, and they're just sitting there silent, but in their mind, it's just racing, and they don't know how to deal with it. So I guess that's
but
when
you
they
know
just
that
start to
post where
go.
they be like, check on your strong friends? Because a lot of people think that, oh yeah, people that don't complain, that they're not going through stuff. A lot of people are really, really going through some shit. But at the end of the day, it's like it either makes or it breaks you. And not everybody's going to be made off of it. Some people really break. And that's what people got to understand. That's why when I'm like, when Kanye is having this episode and people is not, they're not taking it into consideration that he's really mentally sick. And based off of the fact that he has that disorder, I think that they should try to be more uplifting in the situation. But the only thing social media wants to do is make memes and say keep him away from his kids and da 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 da, tear the black man down. Like the man needs help. Get him some mental, emotional help. And the average black guy is not willingly gonna go get that help. So instead of, if they can't get counseling, that's why it's good to have a good support system or some guys that can relate, that actually been through what you've been through, that can give you that advice to help lift you up out of your dark place. You know?
Now that kind of leads me into, not it's not really the next subject, but it does tie into it. Tamar
Hmm.
Braxton did try to commit suicide earlier this
What?
week. You didn't know,
I
girl,
didn't know
where
that.
you be?
That's sad, bro. Like people are, people are just going through it.
Oh
So what
yeah.
was the story behind that? Okay,
Um
so we gonna come up for Kanye, but I just pray for him because, like I said, it's hard to be somebody that struggles with that, and I pray it never happens to me because it's like people going like look at what the fuck Black Twitter is gonna do. I pray I just stay mentally stable and sane forever because
yeah.
people, you can't depend on people because
Yeah,
they're gonna
because at
tear you
that
down
point,
even more.
when you're at that point where you can't even control your own thoughts, it really is like being unhinged. And like when you're aware that there is something going on internally, then that's where the depression starts, and then that's how people, start to lash out, whether it's verbally, physically, eating, smoking, drinking. So that mental health, Jesus.
And this pandemic is showing like who's mentally stable versus who's not because a lot of people going through it. All right, but what, I like me some Tamar Braxton. What happened with her?
From what TMZ reports is that her boyfriend
She's not
found
married to the guy anymore.
who, Vince?
The guy that was her baby father, the chubby one.
Yeah, that's her ex-husband now. Girl, you didn't know that. Where the fuck do you be?
Girl, like I mean, I don't watch TV anymore, but when I used to watch TV, I used to watch. They had a show, right?
Yeah, they
With her
had
and her
Death to Family
sisters.
Values, and then Tamar and Vince was the spinoff.
Okay, yeah, I think I was watching that. But dang, whew, poor baby. Like they was good for each other. That okay? What happened now?
You say that they were good for each other.
They
Girl,
was a cute couple. They had a
all those
baby together.
all those reports about Vince abusing Tamar, and the
I
police were
didn't hear
called
about that.
the police were called at one point because he bit her finger, and her mom. You don't remember her mom coming out some years ago? Well, before
You
they,
know, honestly, I don't ever follow up the drama part. Like I just knew about the loves part. I don't know. That's
girl,
crazy.
her mom came out and spoke to TMZ and went on the Ricky Smiley radio show saying that she had to take Logan. This is when her mom was staying with them because she used to help Tamar take care of Logan. So she said that she had to take at one incident where she had to take Logan and go to one of the spare bedrooms downstairs and lock herself with Logan in the bedroom because Vince was beating on Tamar. I don't know how you don't know this.
I don't know it, but I don't know how women sit there and get beat because if a guy put his hands on me, we just gonna be fighting and may the best man win. The fuck?
Yeah, but everybody's different. Some women might want to try and talk and reason with them, but when a guy is in a rage and he starts beating your ass, you can't talk to them, especially if you're stronger than that
Let me tell you
person.
this. I grew up fighting my brothers, like literally. You saw my brothers, right? We grew up, we used to be fighting, and my mom never used to break us up. She used to be like, y'all work it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. She grew up with one brother, one older brother. He's the oldest. She's the last. And then
Mm.
everybody else in between is sisters, and they weren't allowed to fight in their Christian household. So no,
I know,
Tamar
I
don't
hear
know how
that.
to
That's
fight.
why I like being from the hood. Like we learn how to fight. It was like I remember
So
being choked up against the wall. My brother was about to kill me a couple times, but I survived though.
yeah, Tamar and Vince haven't been together for years. So now she's with this new man, David Adfesco. He is Nigerian. He's an
Mm.
accountant. He went to Harvard Business School. So
He did the
apparently
whole
they were
background check.
Yes. So apparently they were in their hotel suite at the Ritz Carlton. And I found this a little bit odd because I don't know if something is going on with her finances or, her coins. But the last time we checked, she was living in an apartment. I mean, she did have her own apartment. On the last season of Tamar and Vince, you saw her move into her own apartment.
So
So
they still had a show in the midst of all of this and her having a new
this was the
boyfriend?
last season when they were still together before she filed for divorce.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, girl, you
Mm.
better get on YouTube and start looking at shit. So,
Mm.
excuse me. So, the report says that he found Tamar and he said that she had been drinking. Um, she had been drinking earlier that night, and she had taken some. It was either antidepressants, but she did take something else. Um, Hold on. And of course, he called 911.
But basically she
And
said she was trying to kill herself or was like
that's what the reports are saying, but she was found unresponsive. Okay,
but
so
she was
here's
able to tell him what she took though.
after the fact, after, they got her to the hospital and pumped her stomach, but she was unresponsive until she got to the
But
hospital.
she wasn't that she was trying to just did she just act overdose by mistake or did she say she was trying to end it so she purposely took all that stuff?
Well, they think that she was trying to end it because she did send her family a long note. And
Mm.
she sent a note to her network also talking about, how she feels trapped in her contract and how she doesn't have control over her life anymore. And, the usual traits of somebody who is about to end her life. But we do have the 911 call. So here it is.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I forgot I turned my volume down on my iPad.
Paramedic operator 148. What's the address of the emergency? And what's the emergency?
My girlfriend is not responding.
Are you with her right now?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's not awake.
Okay, can you wake her up? Can you shake her and yell at her? Try to wake her up.
She has a little bit of her eye open.
All right, sir. Like I said, we're on the way. I'm going to stay on the line with you.
Okay, she's been drinking. It's like a half of she's on medication for depression. I don't know how much. She sent a letter earlier. Anyway, just ask him to hurry.
I'm sorry, sir. You said she's on.
Ask him to hurry. She's on medication. She takes medication, but she gets anxiety if she's taking her medication or what. Or if she was very angry earlier on. She had trouble with her network. She just the company she's working with, and they did something today, and she no way. This before. I hope this is not.
Okay. Yeah, when they're inside of the same room that you're in, you and I can disconnect. But until then, we have to keep our eye on her breathing, okay? Okay, sir.
Just fucking network.
Well, she needs some help, sir. You guys should look for some help for her.
And it's come to this.
Right.
When do you get free? At what point are you really free?
What the hell? This is why, this is crazy.
And a company, an organization control your.
How long has she been working for them?
They've taken away her happiness, everything she held, everything.
Find my happiness that was within, because it's always here. You just have to realize that your happiness comes from within. So yeah, girl, and a lot of people are saying that that's a little bit too personal to be hearing, but TMZ, TMZ, they get their hands on every fucking thing. But now it's coming out that her family is looking at him a little suspicious because of how he sounded on a 911 call. I'm not
How
gonna
did he sound on a 911 call? He sound like he's mad because wasn't he saying, when are you ever free? When are you ever free? Like, I feel like people have to understand that when people are signed to people, no matter how much money you're making, you're really not making all of that money. That's why when it's better for you to come out as an independent person. But whenever you have contracts and this and that, and even say, for example, with a lot of the contracts, they pay you up front. So if all of the money that they gave you up front is gone and you still got 5 more years on your contract, you got to work for 5 more years per your contract. Like, even if you done spent all the millions of dollars that they gave you when you signed that deal. That's why I want the money, but I don't want the fame, because that shit is like.
Well, here's in the more the backstory. The contract is with WeTV and the production company with WeTV. So a trailer came out for her reality show called Get Your Life, and she didn't like how she was portrayed. Apparently, she didn't like how she's been portrayed since Brights and Family Values. Now, she is the firecracker of the family. Through editing, they can't control everything that comes out of your mouth and how you act. So I think a lot of it is on her. But now, since she is trying to change her image, how she's being shown on reality TV, I would understand if they were to switch stuff up and make stuff seem like it isn't, when I'm trying to do something different and I'm trying to do something else. So that was her beef. So apparently she sent a letter. They said it was weeks ago to the production company, to WeTV, saying that because apparently they saw the trailer weeks ago, and then she wrote the letter, and she said in the letter that they did make her suicidal, and I guess that was ignored. So the issue that her family has with her boyfriend, they're saying that he's just saying a lot of off stuff and talking about the company and blah 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 blah. But it sounds like the company is the root of the problem, but we don't know what happens in their everyday lives to make them think that there's something fishy with him. Like, we don't know these people personally.
No, but the thing about it is that, like, that's his wife, and then, like I said, when he called the she woke up and she was able to say that she's alive. Why are we even talking about what probably happened? Can't we ask her?
Well, she was transferred to another facility to where she can get the proper care mentally. So after, they get done with that, then
So
we
why
will get,
nobody took Kanye to get the proper care mentally? They dragging him on Black Twitter right now.
because he hasn't tried to harm himself. And I think that's where
Oh,
they're trying to take it
so
to
he got to
where,
try to kill himself for people to be more compassionate. I understand. Oh my God, I can't believe it. But
so Kanye with the erratic talk and Tamar taking the antidepressants, and they did try to go to Inyala because Breaks Family Values, they had their drama. They did try and go to Iyanla, and it was uncovered that her and Tracy, I don't know if it was anybody else, but her and Tracy were molested by a family member when they were younger. And that kind of just spearheaded and started, Tamar's attitude problem that they say that she has. But, if you watch the show, you see the way Tamar acts. It's like, what the fuck? Why?
mhm.
Why the extraness? So there's a root to everything, and you need to pluck it. If that root is causing all of this problem, all of this growth, and there are all these weeds and all this shrubbery that's going on in your life, you need to cut it down, and it's obviously going to keep growing. That's why you need to find the root and pluck it and find out why this is happening, why you're acting like this, and then solve it, because you just having yes people around you, and putting a camera up in people's faces just to see what they'll do, and oh, this will make for good TV. Okay, at the expense of what? This person having a manic breakdown. So
Mhm.
Kanye, Tamar, we praying for you.
Yeah, mental
Whew.
health is really, really important. Like, and then people don't know, like, people don't know until it's actually done with somebody that's close to them. Because, like I said, I had to learn by actually experiencing it. And I feel like if I didn't experience it, I would have just been like, oh, that motherfucking crazy. Like, but when you actually realize, like, yeah, but they're crazy, but you have to find a way to bring them back down because it's like they could really lose their shits forever. Some people go crazy and they go crazy forever, meaning that they never come back to their real selves. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta try your best to prevent it. Like if you know somebody that's not really mentally and emotionally stable, you gotta try your best to basically, do what you can to be supportive because some people actually need that support. And it's not good to be dependent upon people. Like it's really not. Like you gotta be able to be, like be content and at peace with while you're alone, but some people just need other people to lift them up. And it's like if you have the ability, if you have the mental headspace to be motivational and uplifting to somebody, then go for it, but it's not for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Some people would rather make jokes about the situation because them making jokes about the situation is what comforts them. So that's why I try not to judge because I always see it multiple ways, but I'm like, bro, I just hope it's never me because even the Will and Jada situation, everybody's like, they've been cheating on each other for forever. And now they're saying, oh, Will looked like he was going to cry. I didn't think Will was going to cry, but apparently they have these memes where they actually took a close up, they screenshotted and zoomed in,
His
and
eyes looking
his
all
eyes look a
bloodshot
little
red and
puffy.
shit.
But honestly, I watched it and I didn't see none of that. But I saw the memes and then I'm like, I don't remember that. Like at least I wasn't even thinking like that at the time because in my head I thought they was in an open marriage, so I wouldn't even think he would be crying because they're in an open marriage to begin with, right?
Let's take a 2-minute break. I gotta check on my salmon.
You said 2 minutes for some salmon, and what happened?
Oh, my nephew started
Oh
play arguing and calling each other niggers and all that shit.
my
Girl,
God! I was hearing all of it, right? And I
huh?
was hearing. I was hearing some stuff, like some cursing and stuff going on. And I didn't know what was
Oh,
happening.
oh, I'm sorry. Shit.
I
Yeah,
was
that was
like,
them.
bro,
That was them.
you had a headset or something?
No.
So how come when you left, I heard it?
Or what?
It sounded like you had a headset or something. Like you was like you walked to the noise, and now like how you back, I don't hear nothing.
Oh, because my room door is closed.
Oh, okay.
I left
Got it.
everything
Got it.
open, and that's why you can hear all the niggers and stuff.
Um, boy, you was my homie,
So
mother and friend.
apparently there's like we'll never know the whole story because we weren't there, but apparently Meg the Stallion was fighting Tory Lanez, which caused him to accidentally shoot her in the foot.
You know, it's so crazy because the first story that I heard, somebody told me that Tory Lanez, that she got shot at and Tory Lanez shot back in her defense. That was the story. But then the way how when she put that post up, she never said Tory Lanez did not shoot her. She just said, and she made it clear that she was shot purposely with intent to harm her or something like that. They want to hurt
And
me.
the mystical,
Hey. Don't she got a song that's how you people don't even understand. I don't know if that song came out before or after she got shot, but I think before. But it be power in your words and people be saying stuff like that. They
handle
want to
me.
hurt
Who
you.
gonna handle me? That's the first words in that hot girl summer with some hot girl shit. With Nicki Minaj and Ty Dolla Sign. Handle me? Who gonna handle me? Well, apparently, bitch, Tory Lanez is with his gun.
You
I
hella
mean,
now you see the fact that she's alive, it's like, you could joke about it, but the whole thing is just that I don't I don't understand how that happened. I pray to God, like the situation some people be in, I'd be like, bro, my life, I'm a little crazy. My life is not perfect. I'm a freaking ratchet eagle. I'm half ghetto. I'm half professional. But the shit people be in, getting shot in the foot, Jesus, I pray not. I pray not. Like I really, really.
and apparently she was mad at him because he was flirting with Kylie Jenner.
That's
So
crazy.
apparently, I keep saying apparently, but it actually is Drea Michelle from Basketball Wives LA or Miami or whichever one. Because she's not on there anymore. Drea Michelle, she was on her podcast and she was like, well, she was like, that's probably how they get down. Some ghetto thug shit, like, oh yeah, shoot me in the foot if you want me to stay in this car. And that's how she was joking about it. And Meg the Stallion, I guess she tweeted her. She was like, bitch, that shit ain't funny, you dumbass bitch.
Mm.
Now, a lot of people were saying, well, where's that same energy with Cameron when he said Tory Lane saw your dick and started shooting? She didn't have the
That's
same
the
energy
crazy
for
part.
him.
I heard somebody say something about that as well because somebody did joke and say something about that, like trying to insinuate that she was basically born a man.
But she
But
isn't. That's where the insult comes from. Same thing with 50 Cent. He posted a meme, Ricky from
but
Boys
check
in the
this out
Hood.
though. Hold on, pause. If she was of the LGBTQ community, they would have been going hard right now. That's the crazy part. For real, for real. You know that, right? If that
But
was
here's
really the case, they would have been they would have been setting shit on fire right
but
now.
here's the point that she was trying to make. She's not of the LGBT, even though she's a supporter. She's not, physically or sexually with them, but she's just a black woman. She's a black woman who's standing alone. She did make the point where the black woman is the least protected and the most disrespected. So like everything, like the whole fallout with her being shot and people want to make jokes, like it's not a fucking joke.
It's
So
not.
like if it was anybody else, if it was Kylie Jenner that got hurt instead of her, bitch, come on now.
Hmm.
Can you imagine what the fuck would have happened to Tory Lanez or the person that did shoot Kylie Jenner? Can you imagine? But it's Meg the Stallion. It's the black woman that was there at the party. and all of a sudden it's a whole fucking joke. Oh, she just got shot in her foot. She got surgery and she'll recover and she'll go back to twerking again.
But
Okay,
you
then.
don't
So
know. The
there's
thing
still
is
a
that Ricky
domestic violence
Smiley,
issue at hand.
listen, it's people in general because Ricky Smiley's daughter also got shot in her foot, similar situation. And she
Mm,
posted how people was being nasty about it. I'm like, how
of
somebody
course.
gets shot? Like people love to kick you when you down. Like that's why I pray. I just gotta pray to stay up because people will kick you like a freaking dog when you're down, man. But yeah,
Mhm.
she's saying, she's not no Meg Thee Stallion. Like she's not like of
But
course
she's still
everybody
a
know
black
Ricky
woman who was
Smiley,
harmed.
right? Who
Black
was
women who
shot,
are harmed, you like, we just treat them, we're just treated like second class citizens.
and they're like they just make a joke out of everything. But
So yeah, we didn't appreciate that shit, Dre and Michelle, with your small ass nose and your small ass hands. But anyway, uh, girl, what else? What else the fuck went on?
girl, I don't even know because this week was busy. We've been on here for an hour, so but
We
we
had
did talk about, yeah, for over an hour. But we have talked about some important stuff. I think mental health is a good topic because, like I said, right now, imagine they talking about going into another lockdown. Like, are people mentally prepared for that? Like, people don't even want to stay home.
no, they
They
don't want to
ain't
stay
want to.
home. They go into a lockdown. It'll be another picture of them at Romeo Burton
Oh,
Park, sitting in, conjugating and Corona juice and Corona air. But one more story. Mayor By Lyles, Charlotte has
mayor.
committed. Our black mayor, our black female mayor, the first black female mayor, Mayor By Lyles, Charlotte has committed to host the scaled down Republican National Convention. No intention to expand. Why? Because Jacksonville rejected them. So she's just giving open arms to the Republican National Convention so Donald Trump can come here and be stupid on his own. Like, bitch, what's wrong with you? We have an
Girl,
agreement. Her statement. We have an agreement in place with the Republican National Committee to host a substantially scaled down business meeting. And that is what we are planning to do. We have not received any notice for the Republic National Committee of any plans to cancel any portion of the Republican National Convention in Jacksonville. So she's hosting. Oh, this is going to be in August. So it's going to be a meeting, not an actual convention, like the DNC was back in 2012. On
mhm.
Thursday, President Donald Trump, number 45, because I don't call him President Donald Trump,
Mm.
announced that he was canceling the Jacksonville, Florida portion of the convention, due in part of the flare up of coronavirus cases in the state. I told my team that it's time. Well, wait, that's not him. Um,
Ta.
Listen, I told my team it's time to cancel the Jacksonville, Florida component of the GOP convention. That's my best. That's my best Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Trump said Florida has to have hosted 4 nights of programming and parties that Trump had hoped would be a 4 night informational for his reelection. But you know
Mhm.
what? He's going down in the polls, and Joe Biden is going up. And at this point, we hate to do it because we don't support neither of them. We have to vote for Biden. We have to vote.
Listen,
If
listen,
we
Linda,
don't
listen,
vote,
listen, listen.
if we don't vote, then can you imagine another 4 years with
Listen,
Donald Trump?
Linda, listen.
Joe
The
Biden
thing
may
is
be a
that
creep.
you have to understand that right now, I don't trust none of these politics. But one thing I'm gonna tell you is that you have to think about it. With President Donald Trump, if Donald Trump could control this coronavirus, he will control it. You know why? Because for one, he's a businessman first. Everybody else, they don't give a fuck about the economy. They're gonna make sure the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. With Donald Trump, if you know, like it's crazy because at one point he said out of his mouth that people need to stop getting tested for the coronavirus because if they stop getting tested, then people will stop getting the coronavirus. He said that. Remember him saying something along those lines?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
listen to
of
this.
course he
But
said
did
that.
you know? But do you remember me telling you that there was a federal investigation about the coronavirus test being tainted with the coronavirus? Do you remember me telling you that too?
Yes.
Did you know that the Trump administration was the one that was investigating it, trying to figure out why the hell would they disperse tests? And the CDC had the answer to the Trump administration. He was trying to warn people low key. Like if you think about it, he knew that there's an issue with the test, and he's telling people to stop getting tested. I know somebody who recently got tested because they was about to give birth, and then all of a sudden they had no coronavirus back then when they gave birth back in early July. Now they got coronavirus all of a fucking sudden. And it's crazy because now
Hmm.
she has a newborn and she has to deal with this shit. So I'm like, I don't trust those tests not at all. But the
No,
Trump
none of
administration
us
is the
should.
one. The Trump administration is the one who was investigating that shit, and he had the CDC had to answer to them to explain to them what happened. Their excuse was that they basically was under pressure and they didn't want to, not administer the test, so they administered them anyway. I'm like,
And I don't
that's
trust the
like a
vaccine
restaurant.
either. I don't trust the
But
vaccine
listen,
either because
that's
how do you
like
know that the vaccine is
we're not
infectious?
getting no. They can't. First of all, based off of the rules of a vaccine, they can't develop no vaccine right now. Even if they do develop a vaccine, it's probably going to be mid to the end of next year, based off of the time that's required. But even so, at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people understand that with the Trump administration, like fucking, you see, okay with Hillary now. You're hearing how Hillary is under pressure because they're being investigated in regards to like child pedophilia and sex trafficking and this, and they be drinking babies' blood and this and this and that. They said if you
Yes,
go,
they
they said
actually
if you go,
admitted that. It's another celebrity that admitted that they drink baby blood. And who said that? It was somebody that said that. Was it Jim Carrey? I think it was Jim Carrey. But girl, those white Hollywood elitists, they do that shit. And it's not just them. It's people who are the 1% of the US who have money, and all these politicians. Girl, they are into some freaky ass stuff.
that's what
And
I'm hearing. And at the end of the day,
it all goes back to that damn Pizzagate, and these fucking
but
human
listen,
trafficking and
but you never
all.
hear Donald Trump being mixed up in that at all. Donald Trump is just the asshole. He's just the asshole, but you don't hear him drinking no baby blood. You don't hear him doing
That
like
doesn't
he's a
mean he didn't do it.
businessman.
That doesn't mean he didn't do it because
Honestly,
what's Jeffrey Epstein's bitch? The bit that's the chick, his hoe that's locked up now. Gallus Lane, whatever the fuck her name. Her last name's Maxwell. White woman from England who has ties with who does she have ties with? Has ties with the royal family. And we all know there's conspiracy theories with the Queen Elizabeth, drinking human blood or baby blood or whatever the fuck to stay alive, because we all know she should be dead by now. Her and Prince Charles, but her, Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever the fuck her
you
name
said
is.
Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah,
She's still
just
alive.
yeah, she's still
Isn't
alive.
that like Princess Diana's mother?
My mother-in-law, because Princess Diana, she married into the royal family,
Is
and
she
then she
the
was
Queen Elizabeth one or two? Because it's two.
the one that's queen
Maybe the
now.
one.
She's the one that's queen now. But yeah, so the
Oh,
Maxwell, whatever the fuck her name is, she's arrested and she's in custody, but they're waiting for her to whatever shit, because her and Jeffrey Epstein, they were rubbing shoulders with the elites, and they knew a lot. Jeffrey Epstein knew too much, and that's why I think he's not here anymore. Or he either faked his death. If you have enough money, you can fake her death. You can do anything. But this bitch, she's in custody, and for her to get a lesser sentence or whatever, or for her to be spared, she better fucking talk. And she has been talking. We just don't know what the fuck she's been saying. So for all we know, Donald Trump is in all that shit,
hold on,
which
wait
I'm pretty
now.
sure she is.
When I'm looking at Queen Elizabeth, right? Basically, right now she's 94 years old. If you look up her mom was born in 1900 and she died 2002. She lived till she was 102.
Yes, yes. They doing something over there. They doing something over there. You know, white folks say age like bananas. She ought to be dead by now. Shit, just rotting away, and all her teeth are black. And girl, did you see that? Girl, did you see this picture of John D. Rockefeller before he passed away? I think he. Hey Siri, how many heart transplants did John D. Rockefeller have before he passed away?
Okay, I found this on the web for how many heart transplants did John D. Rockefeller have before he passed away. Check it out.
He passed away at 101 years old. Let me see. Money.cnn.com. He was 101 years old when he passed away. Looked like a fucking walking corpse. He started the oil empire, includes, you know, he was an oil man. You tap into some oil, you got some motherfucking money. Nigga. He had how many? I think it was 12 or 13. Shit. I want the actual number. I want the number. You know what I mean?
He had that many heart transplants. Who did you say?
John D. Rockefeller. This old motherfucker right here. Hold on. Girl, he needs to be embalmed. Like he's already dead. But girl, if you look like this, you need to be embalmed. You need formaldehyde in your system. But he has had he has had numerous heart transplants in order to extend his life. But
7.
7. That's it?
Yep.
Yeah. Heart transplants. You go on the operating table and get a brand new heart just to keep you pumping. At that point, look, I'm over 100 years old. Just let me go. Let me go. If I haven't done all that I need to do in this lifetime, I'll come back and I'll hunt you. Okay? I'll hunt whoever I need to hunt, and I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll come back as a newborn and do this shit all over again. You know what I mean? But drinking baby blood and getting all these implants and heart transplants and doing all this crazy shit just trying to stay long. Girl, another fucking conspiracy theory. Walt Disney apparently had his head frozen. Girl, you didn't hear about
that? What do you mean had his head frozen? Like purposely? Like what?
Okay. I hate to do it, but I have to. Shane Dawson, Walt Disney. Because he did a whole fucking video on it. Scary Disney myths. Yes, girl. Had his head frozen. Where is it? Okay, there we go.
For a long time, and nobody knows if it's real or not. And that doesn't mean it has to be scary. It could be something stupid like drinking Mountain Dew makes your dick small. And even if people don't know if that's real or not, I guarantee you once they hear that, they stop drinking it. So today I'm going to be giving you guys just a few of my favorite myths. Number 1, Walt Disney's dead body is frozen somewhere in Disneyland. Now, this is one I've been hearing since I was a kid, and honestly, I kind of believe it. Walt Disney, of course, the creator of all things Disney, was a fucking genius. He created Mickey Mouse, he created an empire, and he created Disneyland. Well, on December 15th of 1966, he died from lung cancer at the age of 65. Now, the myth goes that as he was dying, he asked doctors if there would ever be a cure for lung cancer. And the doctors said, well, not right now, but possibly in 30 years, 40 years, I'm sure there'll be a cure. Now, because Walt Disney was a genius and had mass amounts of money, supposedly he created a chamber where he would be frozen and kept there until the time came that there was a cure. His thought was maybe 50 years from now, they could just unfreeze him and give him the cure and he could keep living. Now, the rumors spread really fast, mainly because Walt Disney's family was so secretive about his funeral, where they were going to bury him. We really knew. Supposedly, lots of people, including people that work at Disneyland, believe that his body is frozen and it's inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I don't know. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. I mean, the fact that the guy was such a genius, he could figure this out. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, I don't know, that sounds crazy. Well, let me tell you this. This is the same guy whose plan for Disneyland was to have the entire park underneath a bubble. That's right. He wanted to have Disneyland underneath a huge bubble so that he can control the temperature, so that he can keep it hidden from storms. He literally wanted to create a dome. And he got really close to doing that, but unfortunately, he died before he could complete that. And that's a crazy idea. Is it as crazy as freezing his own body? Not really. And a lot of people say that when they're at Disneyland, sometimes they see the ghost of Walt Disney there. And a lot of people believe that you can hear him singing on the Haunted Mansion ride. I don't know. We don't know if it's true or false, but that's what makes it a really cool myth. Number 2, the myth of Elvis Presley.
Girl, you got enough money, you can do anything. You'll be crazy enough to do anything. Like, I'm not ready to leave this earth. Let me see if I can do something to come back or extend my life on this earth. We'll just leave it at that. That was our nice little, conspiracy theory to end, to end the podcast with.
I don't know, man. I was looking it up. They said that's like what I saw basically said that somebody's body was frozen, but then they ended up dying from cancer or something. But it's crazy because what the guy said is that he had cancer and he wanted to be frozen until there was a cure for cancer. Yeah, but then they said that who did they said? They said Walter. No, who was it? Somebody is frozen to this day. James Bedford. So Bedford's corpse is the only frozen corpse before 1974 still preserved to today. I don't know who that was, but that's crazy.
Oh yeah, girl.
If you freeze your body, don't you think you're gonna have frostbite and all this other stuff? It's like when you come alive, like, huh?
I don't want to say frozen, but preserve it. But if you're dead, you're dead. How can you come back to life? You're dead.
I don't know. I think maybe the organs are still good because sometimes people's organs could be good still, but then as long as the body doesn't actually start to rot, then maybe they could find somebody with the heart, and then once you get the heart pumping again, you're alive, right? I don't know. That's just, I don't know. But I don't want to be tampered with. If I'm gonna go, let me go. Shoot.
Yeah, because
I mean, like if I had passed and I wanted, if I could be resuscitated, you could try to resuscitate me, but don't try to freeze me and then experiment with me. Just let me go.
yeah, because especially Black people, our melanin, everything is connected to our ancestors and metaphysical, just everything. We're nothing but spiritual beings having a human experience. This right here, this is going to deteriorate. That's why we get injured, we get shot, and we have bruises, and our spirit is what keeps us alive and breathing and walking. As soon as our spirit leaves, I'm not going to say that's it, but our spirit is gone. Our energy is still here. So that's why they say, especially I loved it when Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, when she passed away, they gave her 40, it was either 40 days or 44 days for her spirit to ascend to the other realm. So so that's what any of us should be doing. So it wasn't really 40 something days of mourning. It was just letting her spirit transition. So that's why a lot of people they don't say so and so died or they're dead. They transition onto the next life. Transition, and you may be able to come back. That's why a lot of kids, a lot of babies, they have memories of a life that they physically didn't live before, but somebody is speaking through them spiritually. So yeah.
Yep. So that is all for tonight, right? We'll cover what we wanted to talk about because I ain't make a list this week.
Me neither, but it was so much shit going on, we just had to wing it, girl. But yeah, we will see y'all next week. This episode will be uploaded on YouTube. Go and subscribe to the YouTube page.
Alrighty. Good night, guys, and thanks for tuning in to Peaches and Dream.
Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay black and fuck the police.
And be safe.
Bye.
Later.